Josh, tell me now more about the rig, which is something you had a heavy hand in, and tell me about how it started. You had conversations with Ray, and now this is the result of all that.
Yeah, so Ray and I started talking about a month before I got to rehearsals with those guys, and he had this kind of list. I was like, what do you want it to do? Like, what's your, tell me your wish list.
Yeah.
We'll see how many boxes we can check off. He sent me a bunch of pictures of his pedal board, of his current rack, and he's like, I run 2 heads. I've run some stuff in the effects loop, okay? I need more tonal control over my whole rig, which was really one of the big things. Like my solos, they get too pokey. I wanted more control in that aspect. And just, we have a solo amp as well, which we have a dedicated effects chain for. As he said, it's like, I kind of want to do it wouldn't be a wet dry, it's more like a mixed dry mix.
Okay.
But when we go to that solo patch, it's a little Amp Nation amp that's out just a 1x12 combo.
Okay.
That's the dry, and the 2 4x12s kind of become the mix wet.
What's the effects chain going into that Amp Nation?
Into the Amp Nation?
Yeah.
It's this drawer right here. I mean, for the most part, we're leaning heavy on this gearbox right now.
All right.
These 3 pedals are probably a good portion of maybe 50% of the solo sounds, and this is probably the other 50%, at least, drive-wise.
Yeah.
We've been kind of experimenting. We haven't really put these in yet. They sound great. We just haven't really found a home for them.
We've gotten introduced to those at NAMS. They're really versatile effects.
Yeah, they're really cool. It's just we haven't found a good place for them. I think maybe when we get out of doing just Black Parade on this rig, those will come more into play. We get into it. But yeah, this whole drawer is just for
that solo
drawer. Yeah.
Okay.
It only hits the front of that Amp Nation.
So going back to the rig equation, you're having conversations with him, and then are these the amps that he wanted to be included, or we changed that during that conversation?
No, he has he's got a bunch of Freemans, he's got a bunch of Marshalls, and
he's been a big Marshall guy for a long time.
Yeah. So we kind of the Metropolis has kind of stayed in place. I think we tried a Freeman with it. We came back to this Marshall, and we kept coming back to this combination.
Got it.
So we tried a bunch of other stuff. If there's one thing, Ray's always down to try new things.
Yeah.
New pedals, new amps, new cabinets, whatever it is. So we tried a bunch of combinations, and we finally settled here.
Okay.
These with those Fry-Up power stations, they ticked all the boxes for us.
And just so everyone knows at home, are we like toggling between patches that one or the other, or are these both on at all times?
Both on at all times.
Right on.
Yep. These are the main sound. This Marshall and the Metropolis, those are 2 main sounds. The solo amp will only kick on for the solos, and we have a clean amp. We've got a Fender Deluxe
all right.
out there that is just for the clean sounds. And we don't have a ton of them, but there's enough, when you need that real bright, spanky Fender sound, it does the trick. So,
all right, well, tell me about, I know we kind of looked at the one solo drawer. Tell me about the rest of the rack, and then also the effects in the other drawers.
You want like a signal chain?
Yeah, or a signal chain, or just...
Okay.
Yeah, a signal chain would be great. Since you built it, you can tell us.
Yeah.
People love that stuff.
Yeah. So we've got the Axient wireless. We're using the JX44 is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. We're using it for, to combine our wireless. We're also using both the effects, left and right effects loops in it. We're using it for amp switching, and we're using it for the pedal board. So we're kind of using everything it offers.
Okay.
So basically, this top RJM, the first 8 loops in this and the first 8 loops in here, they'll all hit the front end of these 2 amps. We have those in the left effects loop, so they can't hit anything else ever. These first 8 on this bottom one are the solo amp.
Oh,
and then,
all right.
And then, so they can't hit anything, they won't accidentally go here or anything like that. And then the last 4 are the effects loops for these. So we've got a delay, a reverb, and then we've also have one of those Source, this EQ2 pedal.
Yeah, I noticed you had a couple of EQs throughout the rig here.
Tons of EQs.
Yeah.
Tons of EQ, yeah. That's basically all the tone shaping on the end. That what I was talking about, like he wants to get the pokiness out of his solo patch, or a little mid scoop or a little mid bump or whatever that particular part needs.
Okay.
I think we're up to like 20 presets on it, so we're using it quite a bit. And we do have a ton of EQs. The main sound, realistically, is this EQ pedal hammering the front of those. I mean, it's at plus 13, plus 14 dB, and it's hitting those things real hard. So.
And I can't see, because my angle, is it a JMP? I didn't know, because you used to have 800s, you used to have the DSL 100, or 1000s.
Yeah. I'm sure we've got those in a case, wherever they are over there somewhere.
So the GE7 hitting this is a core sound, okay.
That's the main sound. We got, our straight in sound, and then the main sound is that's where you get the real crunchy distortion.
Can we see that again? What, like on the EQ sweeps or the faders, was he like anything really poking out? No.
I mean, nothing in the EQ wise, nothing extreme. It's just the level of both. Sometimes these are both on, and the level is hitting. It's hitting real hard.
Yeah.
So that's kind of driving the heck out of the amps.
I see a couple of James business cards in there.
Yeah, we got 4 of them now. They just sound really good, man. I guess. We tried, we had tube screamers in here. We tried, all these other different kind of pedals, and he's like, "Hey, Bowman, you got another pedal? Yeah, here you go." Threw it in there. So,
what are the two? Because I know that he explained this to me being like a Frank signature fuzz pedal, like a big muff variation. How are you using the two here differently?
This one's not really getting used at the moment.
Okay.
This is kind of future proofing everything. I don't know if we're using this one too much at the moment either. Right. We had to take into consideration, like, we're not always going to be doing just black braid.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff in here, like the compressor's not really being used. We're still figuring out how to implement the Chase Bliss.
Yeah, that's a device.
It is a device. That is a. Yeah.
I think could drive my car.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, you could probably get away with taking all the overdrives out and using that thing, but it's less fun that way.
Yeah. So what else? So we got anything that worth calling out? I see a Phase 90.
We're not really using the Phase 90 at the moment either. We are using these two.
Tremolo and the carbon copy.
Yeah, those are kind of very specific parts.
That's a huge asset to the tone.
Yeah, we're using that 3 or 4 songs. It's a big deal if I miss the cue on that one.
Yeah. And another thing that's kind of part of Ray's sound back in the day was a chorus, use of chorus. Is there a chorus pedal or something that maybe mimics that? Or
we only have a chorus pedal here. This is the solo drawer, so we haven't really been doing it too much. Not since I've been here anyway.
All right. And then the bottom drawer I saw earlier, we got a pair of Strymons.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a big sky and a timeline. One short of the trifecta. But those are running stereo. So we're running basically stereo effects loop. Left into the top, right into the bottom.
Okay.
So.
And that's it for there. And then, of course, he has an actual pedal board out front, too. So what's the theory behind that? Why is that getting used?
Just add to taste.
Yeah.
That's really all it is.
For him?
Yeah, so he's using this as a controller. Which I think previous to me, he was actually using with loops as well. But this time around, we didn't do any loops, and we're just using this as a controller. And I mean, for the most part, it's really just these two he's kind of add and subtract in the Black Parade set anyway.
Yeah.
The cool thing is we were able to get Ron and Sherry came out to rehearsals from RJM, so it'll be really great to be able to remote control this, because this is one of the things Ray had asked me. He's like, "Do you think we can remote control so like when I'm at the end of a solo, you can pop me out of it if I'm over there or whatever?" It's like, well, those the PBC or PBC 6, they're not really meant to do that. But Ron figured it out, wrote us some firmware, and now we've got one here and here, and we can punch through it. Yeah. So
it's good to have smart friends.
We asked him when he was there, and I could see his wheels immediately turning, and he's like, "I think I can do it."
Natural problem solver.
Yeah. I was like, "All right, well," and like 3 days later, he goes, "Hey, try this firmware," and sure enough.
Wow.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, Josh, what should we know about what the Marshalls are hitting, the cabs-wise? Cabs or speakers out front on the stage. Is there anything? How are they being routed?
We have 2 412s out there. One of them has greenback sitting, the other one has vintage 30s in it.
Okay.
One's a Marshall, one is a Bad Cat.
Okay.
Other than that, there's nothing particularly special about them. They're just loud as hell.
Yeah. And the last question I asked you, going back to the kind of building this rig out, what was the biggest hurdle you had to, or the biggest kind of problem or gap you had to fill in to make this baby fly?
Realistically, it was the time to do it was the big thing, but doing it and getting it to stay quiet, that's been the thing.
Okay, so what's that?
So it's just like because we're kind of,
because I don't see any noise unless
we don't no noise gates.
Okay,
that was we tried, and we kind of came to the conclusion like that main sound, we're hitting it so hard in the front that if we put a noise gate, you're gonna hear it all day long. And he's too dynamic. He's rolling the volume down all the time. He's constantly rolling the volume and the tone around, switching pickups and stuff. So we just couldn't do it. But just strategically based ISO transformers and making sure all the grounds are where they need to go. The big hurdle really is we're doing this stereo effects loop, so we're kind of tying the amps together in a bunch of different places. We're trying to separate them has been a bit of a thing.
Yeah.
But it's quiet, it's serviceable, as quiet as it can be, I guess.
Yeah.
For being how loud it is. But I think that that was the big thing. And then the amount of time we had. I mean, there's a lot of pedals in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cabling. I don't know if you looked in the back. There's a ton of cabling in the back. So, yeah, conceptually, he knew exactly what he wanted. It was just getting in there and trying to make sure we could do it all in a way that was advantageous for him.
Paper to stage is a whole different equation.
Yes. The worst thing would have been to put it together and have it just hum and buzz and make no nice sounds at all.
I don't think I'd be talking to you if you hummed and buzzed this sucker.